So, welcome on board to another project. This time, this is an AC EMI filter board. Here is the input terminal, live, neutral, and earth, and here is the output terminal, wired in the same way. This symbol marks an additional earth connection. If you plan to use this board in a noisy environment, mount it in a metal enclosure, solder a wire to this pad and bolt that wire to the metal chassis. The input is protected by this fuse and this varistor, and this bleeding resistor is to safely discharge the capacitors when the power is removed. X2 rated capacitors, and these are Y capacitors. Let me show you the back side. So a single layer board, pretty easy to fabricate, and you can see the isolation gaps or creepage areas where it is necessary. I think it's enough for a brief introduction. Let's move on to the schematic and PCB section. Alright, this is Altium developed software that I used to design this schematic and also this PCB layout. But you might ask, what's the benefit of this Altium develop? What's the catch? Altium develop offers many features, but one stands out. It makes teamwork easy, especially on complex PCB projects. Imagine you are on a team where one person works on power supply, another designs digital circuits, someone else handles RF parts such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LoRa, and another team member creates component libraries and prepares the bill of materials. If you rely on traditional methods such as email, shared folders, screenshots, and PDFs, things get messy. You end up with a bunch of schematic and PCB files, misunderstandings, and frustration. This will delay your project, stress the team members, and affect the company's revenue and reputation. The difference is obvious, so I won't explain more. Follow this link in the YouTube video description, sign up on the Altium website, and test it with your 1 month free legal license. With that sign up, you can also download the project files from this link. Anyway, let me come back to the schematic and explain it. These two are input and output terminals. The type is KF129, pretty easy to find and purchase. A 3 amps fuse for protection, of course, but why 3 amps? Because this common mode choke can tolerate up to 3 amps continuously. So we have to both protect the common mode choke and also the load. But 3 amps is pretty enough for most applications. This varistor to protect the load and circuit against high voltage transients. My suggested part number is this one, but you are not bound to use this part number. You can use whatever part number you like. C1 and C2 are X2 rated capacitors for noise reduction. Most of these capacitors are manufactured with either 15mm pitch size or 22. From pitch, I mean the distance between the capacitor's pins. That's why I have provided the enough pads for both capacitors types, so you can use whatever part number you like. R1 is the bleeding resistor to discharge the capacitors when the input power is removed. The common mode choke, of course, you can use either this part number or this one. You may not find the first one in some distributors, but the second one is available on DigiKey. I think C3 and C4 remained, so these two are Y capacitors for noise reduction. The type of these capacitors are pretty important. They must be Y, because when Y capacitors fail, they never fail in the short mode, so C3 and C4 must be Y capacitors. Anyway, that's enough for the schematic. Let's go to the PCB. So this is a single layer board, pretty easy to fabricate. The first thing we should consider in such a layout, I mean single layer boards, is to avoid creating any loops, and it's pretty common to create loops, especially in the ground connection. This is the ground or earth connection in this layout, and we don't see any loop. Also, I have avoided to create any loops in other parts of the PCB. I decided to implement these isolation gaps or creepage areas because my assumption was that some users might use this board without any enclosure, and this board might be in front of humidity or pollution. So that's why I have decided to implement these creepage areas. The last thing is the placement of the components. If you want to design a similar board, pay attention to the placement, to the correct placement of the components. Anyway, let's go to the testing section. Alright, welcome to the test bench. The best method to test this EMI filter board is to use an AC lesson box and a spectrum analyzer, and the EMC software option should be enabled in the spectrum analyzer. Unfortunately, I don't have any at the moment. You might suggest connect a noisy AC load to the output and show the input and output waveform on the oscilloscope screen, but you miss a point, and that is the 50 Hz voltage is quite dominant and the AC load should be very noisy to show a significant noise and visible noise on the waveform. Maybe some old drills can produce such a noise. I don't have any, because nowadays even home appliances follow EMC rules. So instead I can use this NanoVNA and show the filter response on the S21 logarithmic magnitude. So I will connect the S11 to the filter input and S21 to the filter output. I have already calibrated the VNA up to this point. It doesn't make any problem because the frequency is low, so these cables do not make any problem. I have soldered the cables to the input and output. So remember the setup, because I will just capture the VNA screen. Alright, here is the NanoVNA screen, and here is the filter response, S21 logarithmic magnitude. But we know the cutoff frequency of this filter is low, so I think I should change the stop frequency to see the filter behavior. So I select stimulus and stop to maybe 250 kilohertz. And there we go, this is much better. And if I play with this knob, you can see it goes below minus 30 dB. And here is the top, and this bump is below 0 dB. So it's around 4 dB, minus 4 dB. So it doesn't matter, that's not a problem. Let me change the start frequency also. Although the start frequency of this VNA minimum is 10 kilohertz. Let's change this to 5 and see what happens. So no problem whatsoever. So this is a pass for this filter, and it shows that it does the job perfectly. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to share and subscribe. We will do something else in the next video.